Hello YouTube, Arrow Assassin here again. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a video on a balanced druid PvP guide. It's just been requested by you guys, and I might do one for Feral Druid as well, but I have zero plans to do one for the other classes simply due to the fact that essences are a huge thing in the patch right now, and most of my other tunes don't really have any essences compared to my druid. So yeah, I just thought I'd put that ahead of time, just in case you guys were planning on asking me. But yeah, let's dive right into the talents first. First row, Nature's Balance, Warrior of Elune, and Force of Nature. You're going to only want to choose between Nature's Balance and Warrior of Elune for this row. Warrior of Elune is nice for the 3 instant lunar strikes and to generate astral power, especially if you combine it with a essence called Memory of the Lucid Dreams, which increases your astral power generation, so you get tons of star surges off. Either way, no matter what, you cannot go wrong with this row. And my personal favorite is Nature's Balance, simply due to the fact that you can start off the battle with either a Starfall or a Star Surge, whatever you prefer. My favorite thing to do is if there's a stealther nearby and I manage to catch them, and I can just drop a random Starfall, gets them out of stealth, and then that way they don't get the opener on you. Well, a rogue still can, depending on his talent, but you guys pretty much get my point. Next row, I get a lot of people asking me about it. I run Renewal because having Renewal combined with either a Healthstone or Swiftman, and it basically negates a lot of the burst from classes. Like if a rogue opens up with Vendetta, what I'll usually do is he'll get me low, I pop Renewal, Swiftman, or Healthstone, get my health back. Sometimes I even pop my Engineering Shield, so that negates even more burst from him, and for the most part, it gets rid of... I pretty much outlive the rogue's burst, well, for the most part. So that's the reason why I run Renewal. Obviously, you can't go wrong with anything in this row. If I had to pick, my second choice would be Wild Charge, because for certain maps and stuff like that, it can be really useful. You can bait somebody to jumping off and then just leap back with Travel Form. I personally don't really like Tiger's Dash. It's still good, don't get me wrong, but I would go with either Wild Charge or Renewal. That's just a personal choice. But the thing with Renewal you got to keep in mind is you'll sacrifice mobility for it, but your survivability, in my opinion, is better with Renewal than Wild Charge. But that's just my opinion. Next row is Restoration Infinity or Guardian Infinity. I run Restoration Infinity because I just can't live without Swiftmen. Plus, I was talking about the whole Swiftman Renewal combo earlier, and plus having the heal regeneration is nice. Guardian Infinity, I don't really particularly like this anymore, especially after the Bear Form Moonfire change. So you can't cast Moonfire in Bear Form anymore. So I just don't particularly care for it as much, but it'll still be nice for like rated stuff, and if you're running with a healer. But overall, my personal preference is Restoration Infinity. So it's a personal preference, kind of similar to like the second row. It's up to you. Third row, I like Mass Entanglement simply due to the fact that you can root huge groups at once. Like you can stop them from reaching Waterworks and Battle for Gilneas, for example. Or if you get a huge angry mob that's chasing you out in the world, you can root them and manage to get away, fly away, or stealth. So it's pretty much a lifesaver. In my opinion, I like it more than the other ones, although Typhoon is obviously good on knockoff areas. So I would probably, if you want to knock somebody off, then Typhoon is definitely the way to go. Mighty Bash, I used to love this a lot, but I just personally prefer the instant root. I feel like it's saved me more than Mighty Bash has. Not to mention you can get an instant root on healers. If you see a healer coming and you're about to kill a target, instant root beam, and then boom, saved. So, or get the kill, I should say. Next row, Incarnation. For the burst, straight up, not really much more to it to say than that. That's just my personal favorite. I don't really particularly like anything in this row. I've tried them all. But yeah, that's just my personal favorite, Incarnation. Next row, Stellar Flare. Never used this. Stellar Drift could be good, I guess, in 40-mans or huge groups, but overall, Twin Moons, in my opinion, is the best one for this row. I feel like it's always been the best. Moonfire deals more damage, and it also hits another enemy, like Sunfire does. So, yeah, that's just my personal opinion on that row. Next row, I get a little bit of a few comments about New Moon. I personally don't think New Moon is as good as it was in Legion. It's not bad, but I just personally prefer Fury of Balloon because a lot of people are playing melee and you're going to want all those instant casts instead of just like wanting to cast it. Like if you got a rogue on you and you can't get it off because he's just chain CCing the crap out of you. So, I mean, you can root them and chain CC them and get it off. Like, you can run, for example, Mighty Bash, then get that New Moon off. But I feel like Star Surge does more damage than New Moon. So, I would overall just rather cast Fury of Elune and get all that damage plus the Starfall. I mean, not Starfall, the Astral Power, and then instant Star Surge from that. So, for example, I'm already popping my burst, I guess, like, no, I'm not going to use my burst yet because I want to demonstrate a little bit later, I guess. But I'll pop my Fury Balloon here, and I already have that, all the Astro Power, and I can cast 2 Star Surges, and then, see, it's just like all that Star Surge damage is just, in my opinion, way better. And that was a 77k Star Surge, at least I saw from that. So overall, that's the reason why I run Fury Balloon. New Moon isn't bad if you really want to run it. I've seen some YouTubers use it. Not many, but there are a few. And they like it personally, so if you want to run New Moon, you can, but I would highly recommend Fury of the Loon more. Shooting Stars is also pretty decent for huge maps as well, in my opinion, like AV, Ala Conquest, Ashram, so on and so forth. So, but yeah, my 100% recommendation would be Fury of the Loon for this row. But if you really don't want to use Fury, then either one of these can work. But I would, like I said, 100% recommend Fury of the Loon. Now let's go over honor talents. I would honestly 100% recommend Iron Feather Armor always because it increases your armor and it reduces your chance to be critically hit. So you'll be able to live a little bit longer in Moonkin form. Thorns for melee. If there's more casters, then obviously don't run Thorns. You could run Cyclone to replace it. Or, like I said, if there's no melee, you don't need Swarm. But yeah, I guess 100% I would recommend either playing Cyclone or Celestial Garden if you don't have if you're not going up against a lot of melee. And Moonkinor, which is going to be really nice for your burst because the more crits you do, the better. It's really all there is to it. So my favorite 5 honor talents would probably be Iron Feather Armor, Thorns, and Moonkinor. These are 3 I pretty much almost always use. And then my 2 backup ones are Fairy Swarm and Cyclone. Pretty much in general, this is pretty much the build I always run that you're seeing right now. There's a few things you can switch up. Like, for example, I said this in a few comments before. There is a 1v1 build that has worked out pretty decently for me. And it's basically Mighty Bash and switching out Moonkin Aura for Swarm. And then that's pretty much the 1v1 build that's changed. You can also probably run Warrior Balloon as well, but pretty much this is what I ran for my 1v1 build, and it worked out pretty decently. It's not like super amazing, but it's still pretty good in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much it for talents. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But yeah, that's pretty much it for talents. Now let's go over Azurite traits. There's only 2 you really want to go for. You want to go for Star Surge, 100%. You want to get all 3 Azurite traits with Star Surge. If nothing else, at least get the Star Surge traits. After that, you want to get Streaking Stars. I have 3 of them, and these traits have not let me down. So get all 3 Azurite traits with Star Surge, 100% must, and 3 with Streaking Stars if you can. If you can't get Streaking Stars, so be it. But that's my personal recommendation. Yeah, the rest is up to you for the minor ones. I like Switch Hitter and the Absorb ones. On My Way is pretty nice for versatility for more damage. That's what I'm running on. You can see most of my gear right now. Otherwise, I have a Gut Ripper. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Azurite traits. Just 100% must for Star Surges. For Star Surge. And then if you can get Streaking Stars, go for it. If you can't, then just you'll have to make do with something else. But I would honestly recommend those 2 on every single piece of gear. Now let's go over stat priority. Stat priority, I stack Mastery. I stack the freaking living crap out of it. You can see I have a Mastery Trinket. I have a Mastery on rings. For some reason, I have a Versatility on my other ring. I think it's because of Pharaoh or something. I don't really honestly remember. But after that, I stack Haste. And then I think after that, I have Versatility. Then I have Crit because I usually run Moonkin Aura. And that's pretty much my stat priority. So as a refresher, Mastery, Haste, Versatility, Crit. And then that's pretty much it. Last and final thing is going to be essences. This is the amount I have currently right now. As you can see, I don't have like all of them, obviously, but I have a pretty decent amount, and I've at least ranked 2 on 4 of the 5 I do have. Here is the ones I would recommend. Memory of the Lucid Dreams, in my opinion, is probably the best out of all of these, 100%. You can get so many star surges. Allow me to demonstrate for you guys over here. So, for example, I'm getting this all dotted up here, and then I have like 60 astral power. Instance incarnation gives you astral power now. You're going to want to star surge here, then you want to pop incarnation here, pop fear of a loon here, pop memory of lucid dreams, and just go ham on the star surges. Absolutely ham. And then this is pretty much the rotation, guys. And then look how many star surges I just got off. Look how many star surges I got off. I got off so many star surges right there. And I still got memory of lucid dreams, and then it just ended. And then I got one more star surge off. I think that was, I didn't really count, but I would say that was probably at least 8 star surges before memory of lucid dreams went off. So in my opinion, that is the reason why memory of lucid dreams is the best. The other one I would recommend if you really don't want to run Memory of Lucid Dreams and would give it a shot is Vision of Perfection. I feel like this is probably the second best one. Keep in mind, I'm testing on so many different ones. There's probably people that will find way better ones. Not to mention if any of these get nerfed, who knows. By the time you see this video in the future, or if I post it late, depends. But yeah, so I would recommend Memory of Lucid Dreams 100% by far first. And then Vision of Perfection would probably be the second best, simply due to the fact that you can have a random proc of incarnation. And then, depending on what map you get, I have tested focusing Iris on my Feral, and since it's pretty much about the same, I would say if you're running Eye of the Storm or camping a tower and this huge, everybody's all bunched up, focusing Iris will be pretty dang good. Anyways, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I would recommend, like I said, Memory of Lucid Dreams isn't too hard to get. You can get it from just questing. Vision of Perfection is a little bit of a pain, at least right now. I'm sure it'll get easier over time, but it was definitely a little bit of a pain. But it's definitely worth it, 100%. Now let's talk about minors. Minor, like I said, Vision of Perfection, you're going to want this 100% without a doubt. You're gonna, at least if you're not gonna use it as a major, you're gonna want it as a minor. It's gonna make your incarnation cooldown lower to 2.5 minutes. And then for the other one, I'm not 100% sure yet. Obviously, I'm still way far away, so it's to the point where it's not really gonna be on my radar, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be way far off for a little bit. But if I had to guess for a second one, at least from what I'm eyeballing right now, I can't test it for at least, as of right now in this video, probably for at least a good 2 more weeks, probably, maybe less, but I'm gonna say 2 weeks, maybe even more than that. I would probably pick Conflict of Strife. It gives you versatility, so versatility will give you more damage, and not to mention if you're being the victim of a CC, it'll give you versatility. Versatility makes you take less damage, so in my opinion, that would be pretty nice. Another one that might actually be pretty nice might be Focusing Iris, simply due to the fact that you get haste. The only problem is if you attack another target, it'll go away. So I'm going to say it's probably not that great. But yeah, it's hard to say. I feel like Conflict of Strife will probably be my second go-to. I mean, re-looking at all of these again, they honestly don't really look as impressive as another minor. So honestly, my recommendation for essences are this. Memory of the Lucid Dreams is your major, Vision of Perfection as your minor, and then Conflict of Strife. Again, I haven't personally tested this, but this is just from reading, as a third. And that's pretty much it, guys. I guess I can say the best races if you want. I did that in another balanced druid PvP guide, so nothing has really changed. I still stick by the answer. If you really want me, I'll just give you the short version. If you want to see that long list of reasons why, you can watch my other balanced droid PvP guide. But basically in short order, I would go High Mountain Torrent first, and then I would go probably Zandalari Troll second. And then... No, actually, sorry. I take it back. My bad. High Mountain Tauren first. Troll second. And then Zandalari Troll third. That would be my order. For Alliance side, I would go Night Elf. And then I would go Worgen. Night Elf because of Shadow Meld. And then Worgen is nice. Simply due to the fact that you get another mobility with Dark Light. But that's it, guys. That's just a short version. If you want some short, really good detailed into the races thing, then I would recommend watching my other PvP guide, because it's not really much has changed. So, and I just wanted to make a short little version of it. So just to remake, say what I said, I would go High Mountain Tauren, Troll, and Zandalari Troll. Alliance, Night Elf, then Worgen. And, actually no, I'm sorry, Night Elf, and then Coltarian, then Worgen. My mistake. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit, sometimes I forget. I don't know why. Anyways, that's it, guys. And I hope this guide helped you out. If I missed anything or you have any more questions, let me know. I'll try my best to answer them. And see you guys later. So something you guys have asked me before that I also want to cover up that I forgot in the video is that how do I deal with melee? So I'm going to try my best to cover up different ways how to deal with melee. If you're running the 1v1 build, for example, like this, you can force their stun with either Fairy Swarm, which sometimes they might not even do. Most people kind of usually don't anyways, but it'll give you a little bit of breathing room. They can still interrupt you, so keep that in mind. You can use Mighty Bash, and then they'll probably trinket that so you can get an instant root off when you can right after. So you can always run that route if you want to as well. There's tons of different things you can do 1v1 as well, like you can use Thorns on yourself and kind them up with that, and just Moonfire and all that, and root them. And go that route and do your Star Surges and Fury Balloon, stuff like that, and just get your casts off and get some Star Surges. You can do that as well. Another thing you can do as well is you can act like you're casting Lunar Strike, they'll interrupt it, and then you can cast a route after that, or clone if you're running that route. So if you want to run that route, you can do that. And that's pretty much the best way I found to 1v1 is those suggestions. Just a reminder, Boomkin isn't necessarily the best 1v1 class in the game. Pretty much a lot of people know this. A good rogue, for example, will make your life pretty much a living nightmare. But like I said, there's players all over different skill levels, so depending on what you face and all that, it's just dependent. But for the most part, I've had a lot of more 1v1 success just doing these things. It's not perfect. There are some classes that will just be absolutely probably not... some classes, there's just really not much you can do. Like, for example, Warlock. You only have, like, one interrupt, for example, and they can just spam Chaos Bolts at you and tank all your damage and reflect back at you. They just have tons of toolkit. And against Boomkin, the Warlock will just absolutely destroy your face 1v1 wise. So that's just an example. Some classes don't get too discouraged about. I know I sometimes still do, but it's very hard to win against some specs 1v1. But hopefully this does help you. Just to pretty much say what I do is you can kite up with Thorns and just Moonfire and kite up away and get in bear form and just roots. That's pretty much what you want to do. It's just kite up and root, disarm when you can if you're running that as your talent, or Mighty Bash, or if you don't even have to hardcast root if you're running Mass Entanglement. It pretty much depends on, like I said, what build you run. But this is the 1v1 build. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, just pretty much want to kite up with the roots best you can, bait them to kick your Lunar Strike so you can cast a root or Cyclone that way, and so on and so forth, and kite with Thorns, or make them DPS you with Thorns up. And another thing you can do is, of course, you can sit bear form, and if you run engineering like I do, you can pop shield and pop renewal, then into swift mend after they burst you, because that's another good way to survive, is to pop renewal and swift mend combo. At least that's the way I mostly survive that way. So I hope this helps you guys. This is pretty much what I do, and like I said, it works for me. It may not work for everybody. It may work for you. I hope it does. But this is the best success that I have usually had playing Boomkin 1v1 wise. So if you have any questions, let me know. There isn't really a set rotation for PvP, but I can give you guys a general idea on my rotation. You just pretty much Sunfire, Moonfire everything up, pretty much standard Boomkin stuff, the best you can. And what you want to do is get a Star Surge off, and then pop your Incarnation into Fury of a Loon. And if you're running Memory of Lucid Dreams, which for the most part everybody's probably going to be running, and then pop those, keep Star Surging, and then pop your Lunar Strikes or Solar Wrath to build up Astral Power, and then keep spamming Star Surge while Memory of the Lucid Dream is up. And that's pretty much the rotation, guys. It's just after that, you just get your Astral Power with Lunar Strikes, Solar Wrath, keep your Moonfire and Sunfire up at all times, and Star Surge. So, just to re-demonstrate for you guys, it's basically start off with Sunfire, Moonfire, everything, then get a Star Surge off, pop your Incarnation, Fury of a Loon, and if you don't have Memory of Lucid Dreams, then you don't have to pop that, but you basically just want to keep spamming Star Surge and getting Astral Power up with the Lunar Strike and Solar Wrath. That's really about it. But also keep in mind, there is really no set rotation in PvP. It's just, there isn't, because there's so many variables. But that's pretty much usually the standard thing you want to do. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you guys later.